Sens win 5-3 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Celebrate good times. Come on! Come on! Celebrate good times. Come on! Come on! We'll see your John Tavares and raise you a nothing. But it doesn't matter. We'll still beat you anyway! But in all seriousness, what a hockey game. That was a ton of fun. But the truth is, Ottawa didn't play all that well and maybe didn't deserve to win. But hey, we'll take the 2 points. They were badly outplayed at times and were lucky to get the better of the two goaltending performances. Craig Anderson was okay and Frederik Andersen was very not. The very not started early for the Danish Anderson. It took Ottawa just 2 shots to find the back of the net as newcomer Dylan DeMello beat Anderson 5-hole to put the Sens in front 1-0. That was a very ugly goal. I remember watching the game and going, oh, when it went in, because I genuinely didn't expect that shot to find its way home, but it did. While it was an ugly goal, I'm sure DeMello will take it. The goal was his first since 2016. Last year, he finished goalless in 63 games, managing just 20 assists. For him to get that goal will be huge for his confidence moving forward offensively. He's 2 games into the season, and he already has more goals than he had all of last year. That ought to make him feel pretty good. And thank goodness for that goal, too, because just a few minutes later, Mitch Marner was given a penalty shot. Now seriously, as a Sens fan, I could scream and shout about Toronto bias, but the truth is, based on the letter of the law, that was absolutely a penalty shot, and I really have no reason to complain. Having said that, I wasn't any less upset about Marner having a free shot on Anderson. Marner skated in slowly, moving forward from left to right. He came into the hash marks and fired a quick shot at Anderson's 5-hole. I don't think so! Not today! Anderson replied, calmly kicking his pad out and steering the puck into the corner. Get that garbage out of here! No dice for Marner. The Sens still lead 1-0. Of course, Marner remembered that play and made the Sens pay early in the second. Marner channeled his inner Sidney Crosby on the play and skated circles with the puck, making Mikhail Bodker look a lot like Jason Spezza. Finally, Marner threw the puck across the ice. Don't ask me how, but it found its way onto Morgan Rielly's stick, who quickly deposited the puck into the back of the net. 1-1. What an incredible play by Marner, but how the heck did that puck get through? The Sens had 5 players between Marner and Rielly, yet somehow the puck still found its way through all of them and onto the stick of Rielly. No matter how many times I watch the play, I come up with one conclusion. What an incredible play by Marner. Sure, somebody should have been marking Rielly on the play, but man oh man, what a picture-perfect pass from Marner. That goal seemed to spark the Leafs, who needed just 41 seconds before Austin Matthews wired a wrist shot by Craig Anderson to give the Leafs their first lead of the hockey game. After giving the club a pass on the first goal, there's no question this goal was on the team. Anderson needs to save that. That puck can't squeeze through his arm like that. But, in the same breath, the Sens know how dangerous of a shooter Matthews is, and they should have done a better job of keeping track of him on the ice. They did a pretty good job on the play of keeping track of where he was, but Matthews quietly snuck from the goal to the circle, and when he did that, Duchesne watched him but gave him enough room to shoot the puck. Big mistake. Duchesne was in pretty good position to play the shot. He just needs to move a foot closer to Matthews so that Matthews doesn't have time to let go of that shot. Lesson learned, I hope. Fortunately, this Sens team proved in their season opener that they weren't quitters, and they proved it again against the Leafs. Mr. Hot Sam Bacho himself, shout out Brian 5 or 6, Thomas Chabot picked up his own rebound on a blocked shot and fired it by Freddie Anderson to tie the score at 2. That was a clutch goal for the team, and something tells me we're going to be seeing a lot more of Thomas Chabot scoring big goals for the Sens over the years to come. For Chabot, obviously that was a big goal confidence-wise, but I really liked the effort on the play. As a defenseman, for him to see his shot get blocked, chase it down, follow it up with another shot, that was huge, especially for a young defenseman. It shows that he's not only confident, but also unafraid to make mistakes, which, for a young team and a young player, is very important. I could bring up interference on the play, but honestly, like the penalty shot before it, Based on the rules, this was obviously the right call. Zach Smith was standing outside the blue paint, and any contact initiated on the play was done so by Frederik Andersen and not Zach Smith. It's tough in the sense that Smith absolutely did interfere with Andersen's ability to kick his legs out. But Smith was standing where he was told that he was allowed to be standing. So, with that in mind, it's absolutely no question. That's an easy goal call to make. Much like the Leafs, that goal seemed to spark the Sens, who needed just 38 seconds before their other San Jose newcomer, Chris Tierney, broke in on a breakaway and beat Frederik Andersen 5-hole to give the Sens a 3-2 lead. While it was a huge goal for Tierney and for the Sens, it was another ugly one for Frederik Andersen. That was the second 5-hole goal of the game for the Sens, and both of them were very ugly. So that's a couple lucky ones for the Sens, but I'm sure they'll take it. They may have taken the lead against the Leafs, but they wouldn't stay out of the penalty box. Don't give the Leafs power plays. Especially don't let Mitch Marner have the puck skating through the neutral zone on the power play. Oh look, Marner just skated through the whole team and the goalie and tied the score 3-3. What did I tell you? Don't give the Leafs extra chances and don't let Marner have the puck! Sure, it was another amazing play by Marner, but what were you guys doing? I was 5 and I was taught, don't let players with skill skate through the neutral zone with speed. It always ends poorly. I learned that when I was 5. I guess you're learning that now. Speaking of skating through the neutral zone with speed, Thomas Chabot. Oh my good heavens, what a filthy move. Erik Karlsson who? Thomas Chabot absolutely undressed Igor Ozhiganov, going outside, inside, through the legs to pull a breakaway before sneaking the puck through Frederik Andersen's arm for 3 Sens. Obviously I was joking about the Erik Karlsson who, but holy what a play. Chabot now has 2 goals and 1 assist in just over 2 periods of play against the Leafs. What an incredible display from the guy who's supposed to be the new Erik Karlsson, whatever that means. After goals seemed to spark momentum shifts throughout the game, this one did the opposite. It lit a fire under the Leafs, who absolutely dominated the rest of the third period. So much so that the Leafs pulled their goalie with 3 minutes left. Fortunately, in an ironic twist of fate, Mark Stone found the dagger that gave the Sens the 5-3 lead they were looking for. I mentioned earlier, Erik Karlsson who? And while I haven't forgotten Erik Karlsson, I have noticed, especially in this game, that other players are starting to step up and make plays that he used to make. The Stone goal was very Erik Karlsson-esque. He blocked the shot, pushed the puck forward so he could chase it down, led the rush, and hit the empty net to seal the victory for the club. It was an excellent play, and a huge one for the Sens, who picked up their first win of the season in the process. For Leaf fans, obviously it was a bitter pill to swallow. I know the team never likes losing to Ottawa, especially when Ottawa is supposed to be as bad as they are, but the team looked pretty good for the most part, and Mitch Marner was flying. That could be bad news for the team next year, but while you've got him on his entry-level contract right now, that is terrific news because, man, oh man, he was the best player on the ice last night. You keep getting efforts like that from Marner and from the rest of the Leafs, and there's no reason to believe that they won't win a ton of hockey games this year. Frederik Andersen's effort aside, of course, because he wasn't very good, but Andersen typically struggles in the month of October, so I expect he'll be fine as well, and this team should, moving forward, be pretty darn good. While Frederik Andersen wasn't very good, Craig Anderson was pretty good. He gave up a couple of tough goals, but made a number of unbelievable saves. The win also improved his record to 10-1-1 in his last 13 starts against the Leafs. Which, when I heard that stat as a Sens fan, I was honestly very surprised. It feels like we're always losing to the Leafs. Now, I did this at the end of the last game, we'll do it at the end of this one too. We'll do good news, bad news for the club. The good news for the Sens, they were able to beat a Leafs team that is expected to be one of the very best in the NHL. The bad news? They were bailed out by a Leafs team that struggled mightily to score goals. Luckily, with the team struggling offensively, they were able to be bailed out a number of times by Andersen and by the Leafs' inability to score. That likely won't happen again, and they better not expect it to. Moving forward, The Sens head to Boston to take on a Bruins team that has struggled to keep the puck out of the net so far this season. That's going to be the key for the Sens moving forward. Force Rask to have a difficult night in goal. If they can do that, they have a shot. But even more importantly than forcing Rask to have a difficult night will be forcing the line of Bergeron, Marchand, and Pasternak to have a difficult night. Those three can single-handedly take over a game, and if Ottawa's not careful, they absolutely will against the Sens. See you Monday afternoon.